Having a free community will land you more clients. And right now I'm going to be explaining to you how exactly I started my free community and how it's benefited my journey to landing more clients online with having a following across all socials of literally under 1,200 people. So across all platforms, I have 300 here on YouTube and I have 700 on Instagram. So it's like a little over 1,000. It's under 1,200 basically. So how am I able to get 130 people in a free community over the course of just a few months? Free community is called Growth Flow Labs. We help founders network with each other as well as teach online business owners how to land more clients online using a free community. So it's kind of a free community system. We lay it out all inside of my free community. And so I'm going to explain to you guys how this is going to be benefiting you, as well as how you can utilize a free community, even if you have a small following of under 1,000 followers, to get guys into a free community and to help you land more clients for your coaching, consulting, agency, whatever it is, whatever you do. This is exactly how it's going to help you out. So first thing we have to understand is that it's not about getting a lot of people in. I see a lot of communities on School, and I would highly recommend you use School. It has a super easy interface. Any single member that comes in, you can keep track of their activity as well as see who is like responding to you. And it's just a really good platform. Things work really smooth. You can post calls on your calendar and host classroom modules and weekly calls and things like that. Highly recommend using School. It's about having the right people in though. I know a lot of communities that actually have like 30,000 people in a free community, 3,000 people in a free community, 5,000 people in a free community. And what tends to happen is 90% of those members are not active. They're only in the free community because they were just funneled into it and they weren't really captured very well. So what a lot of people do is they'll send all their traffic to a CRM and something like Go High Level, which is what I do. But I like to take it a step further. Most of the time when you just get their contact, you might have them on some crappy email list that they don't really care about. Nobody opens up your email, or if they do, they completely ignore it. And it's not giving your prospect a way of actually interacting with you before they get your product or service. So if you're a consultant, the easiest way to land clients is by building a relationship with them. Because gone are the days of where you can just slide into people's cold DMs and appointment set them into a call. It's a bad game. It's super risky. People don't really know who you are. You hop on 95% of the calls and they're confused about what you do. They're confused about how this can work for them. And there's just not a lot of trust. There's not a lot of trust with you as the authority figure, as the person who knows what they're doing. It doesn't feel good for you because they still don't know who you are. And overall, it's just a really bad scheme. So what we have to understand is that having the right people in the community, I'd rather have 100 of the right business owners who actually want to utilize this system in the free community rather than 2,000 business owners who don't really care about the system, who don't really want to implement the system, who don't really want to land more clients online, and who are kind of just unmotivated, unwilling to be active and just kind of like there. So obviously if you have a free community, even if I have, 130 people or 1,000 people, you're going to have a bunch of members that obviously are not that active. That's just what happens. That's what a community is. Not every single person is going to be active. Not every single person is going to join in on the weekly coaching calls. Not every single person is going to be as upfront as you want them to. But the entire point is getting the right people. So how do you get the right people into a free community? Best way I would do this is simply keep track of who's coming in. Be very, 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 very picky with who's coming in, as well as setting the frame of who your target audience is and who your customer avatar tends to be. So if you're a consultant and if you're a weight loss, like fitness coach or whatever, really making sure you talk to your prospects pain to a T. So for instance, if I'm trying to talk to you, an online business owner, preferably a consultant, preferably an agency owner, preferably somebody who has a business where they get clients, I'm going to talk to you to your pain points. So I'm going to speak to your pain points on YouTube here and on Instagram, talking about why are you cold DMing? Why are you cold emailing? Why are you doing all these different outreach systems when you could just be making content and send your leads to a free community instead of trying to appointments at them? They have no clue who you are, or just throw them in one of your CRMs and throw them in your email marketing campaign. Why don't you send them to a free community? So I'm talking to you because I understand your pains, your problems. I understand how it feels to get on a sales call and the person asks, who are you? I don't understand. I'm not familiar with this. I need to think about it. And the list goes on. So having to talk and have the right people, the right consultants in my free community, the right agency owners in my free community helps it become so much more valuable. And so not only do, I get people in the free community just to freaking appointment set them. That's not the point. Also, the point is to network. Network with other individuals who might have a better relationship with you than I do. So if I bring you in the free community, I'm able to introduce you to somebody who has a increased mutual relationship with you more than mine. So for instance, if I bring in the free community expecting just to get a return off you, that would be out of bad will for me, because I just throw you into a community and just expecting the appointment set you. But the difference between me and a lot of other these freaking people is that I actually have your best interest in mind. I want you to not only network with me, but other entrepreneurs, because guess what? The issue that you are facing and the problem that you have to be solved, or the problem that needs to be solved in your business, could be solved by somebody else. Somebody else might have the keys to your problems in a specific way. Now, obviously, a lot of problems are very universal, and just very much persistence, hard work, consistency takes care of a lot of those. But for those of you guys that are struggling with a specific problem, getting into a free community is going to help you have that access to just 100x other people, ask them the questions, and hopefully get a response that you possibly were striving for. And so that's why, email lists are dead, in my opinion, because we have these leads. I have like 140 contacts on my email list that I've been building out for a few months, which isn't anything crazy. And it's working, but it's not working as much as a free community is. Now, everything can work. You can obviously beat a dead horse, but you can't expect it to move. And you can lead a horse to water, but you can't let it drink or make it drink, whatever. Understanding why people book in appointments and understanding as a consultant, as an agency owner, why your prospects will want to go with you is going to be key. And the reason why they'll want to go with you rather than any other coach, any other consultant, any other agency owner is just simply because of trust. It's because of trust. And at the end of the day, if you look back to all the coaching that I've bought, all the consulting that I've purchased, which is well over 5 figures, looking at all of that I've purchased myself, the reason why I purchased it is because I felt closer to that person. I felt more trustful with that person. And I felt like I had a deeper connection with that person just because I simply was nurtured by them for longer. Now, basically what that means is one of my old consultants who I went with, there was a billion other consultants and coaches out there doing the same thing. But the reason why I went with him is simply because I watched more of his YouTube videos. I was in a group chat with him, and I got to see firsthand his results for his clientele and speak to a lot of the people that have actually went through his program. So having those 3 trust barriers enforced within my client journey from cold eyeball to paying client was very crucial, and he understood that. So that's why I always stress relationship over sale. There's a jeweler here in Austin, Texas, named Scott the Ice. If you're watching this, bro, shout out to you. And one thing that he taught me very, very, very concretely, and what he does a very good job at, is relationships. He'll never pitch you. He'll never ask you to buy a piece. He'll never even ask you, what wrist size you are. When he meets you, he's never like, yo, so you in the market for like jewelry, or like, are you trying to get a bust down? Like, never like that. He's always relationship over sale. And that's what I value a lot about Scott. His name's Scott the Ice. Go check him out on Instagram. If you're in the Austin area, I would highly recommend him. But he always values relationship. So I remember early on when I first met him, what he actually did for me was insane. He set me up with somebody who was a potential client, and I got to network with him for absolutely free. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to put me in that Instagram group chat with him and that prospect, asking if there was something that needed to be done, or asking. He didn't have to do any of that, but he simply did that because he values relationship over sale. And so guess what? If I'm looking for a bust down, or if I'm looking for a piece, guess what I'm going to go to? Scott with the Ice, 100%, hands down. Hermosi talks about this, give and not take. Gary Vee talks about this, jab, 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 hook, right hook, whatever. If you get the point, the story remains the same. So the final thing that I have to talk about here is the trust is needed in the marketplace. If you couldn't tell throughout this entire video, trust, 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 trust. Do things out of your way for absolutely free without expecting an exponential return. in exchange for that, just do something not only out of the kindness of your heart or because you're such a great person, but just do it because you simply know that this is going to start the relationship off with a very good plus. So with that being said, I'm going to invite you into my free community, not just so I can appointment set you and not just so I can talk to you about this other thing that I have going on, but simply so you can network with other founders and learn this free community system that is going to help you land more clients online. So I have a lot of breakdowns in the free community, as well as a lot of founders in there. We have millionaires in there. We have people in there who just talk about random stuff. I post polls all the time. And so it's a good environment. Go try it out. If you absolutely hate it, you can just leave. It's absolutely free. No risk to you. The link is right below in the description. So go ahead and join Growth Flow Labs. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one.